Hello, it's me. So, Pam Bondi's been subpoenaed. Is that again? She's already testified once with regards to the Epstein files, and it won't go away. She's getting another bite of the cherry, unfortunately for her. So, it won't go away, will it? And I think that's a good thing. That's absolutely crucial. We need this whole Epstein debacle to be thoroughly exposed. And in that exposure, of course, there will be collateral damage. Pam Bondi made a great stock, very theatrical about how the markets may collapse, and the people who were interrogating her would all suffer as a result. And yet, what do we need now more than ever? We need heroes. We don't need people who are looking after their purses. And we can only hope that the many senators and representatives of the House are in actual fact heroes. So often politicians in this modern day and age are the villains, guilty of all kinds of misdemeanors and peccadillos, some of which see the careers of these individuals crash and burn. And frankly, I'm here for it. The more people who are held accountable, the more transparency we have, the better. Politics is being dragged kicking and screaming back to a reset of some description. I wish I could say it was being dragged back to a time when things were simpler, more honest, but American politics has never really been honest. The last probably true and honest thing it did as a group of individuals was the Declaration of Independence and the Bill of Rights. That would guarantee every American a basic set of rights that they could bank on. Here we all sit in a quagmire of sleaze and corruption through no fault of our own. But it's not all bad. We've got ringside seats to the sleaze and corruption. And the only question that remains for us as onlookers is, will the system protect itself? Or will those people, those various individuals in positions of power, who are calling for criminals like Epstein and his various associates to be brought to justice, win over? We know that espionage is a thing and that people have been killed to keep secrets. It's actually very much part of the culture. These draconian measures started in wartime, transplanted very easily, far too easily in my opinion, to peacetime. And the entrenched rules that were made to guard secrets at any cost didn't only remain, but were strengthened. And so intelligence services across the planet, in service of their host countries, did all kinds of unspeakable things. And what we see here in front of us with regards to the Epstein files is really the tip of a mountain. The Epstein files is a spy versus spy espionage onion with layer upon layer, and each layer guarding another secret, guarding another individual. We've all seen, publicly at least, some of the resignations by individuals who have been mentioned in the Epstein files. And if the rumours are true, Trump has had his own involvement redacted. I've said it previously and I will say it again. I'm no fan of Trump, but I do think he is the shot in the arm that America needs right now. And if for no other reason, to dismantle, to disrupt, to spoil the game that the intelligence services have so completely owned in the United States for so many, many years. It's been quite well known now for quite some time that those people you see on TV presenting your news programs, your daytime shows, a large proportion of them are in fact assets. And if you don't believe me, if that's too much of a stretch for you, then just consider for a moment the people who Epstein managed to entangle. And ask yourself sincerely that if an intelligence service of a country wanted a message broadcast across the airways, what would it have to do to get that message broadcast? Well, it's quite simple. Garner, by some form or another, the services of those people whom everybody trusts reading their nightly news. Hey presto, narrative amended. I don't doubt for one second that the various people that Pam Bondi is, dare I say, protecting, so that the markets can keep chugging along, may have done some vile things. But I am and have been of the opinion that these people deserve no mercy. If you've committed a crime, then, frankly, you should be tried for it. And, in my opinion, those trials should be public. Accountability these days is something that we don't often get. And the higher up the ladder you are, the rarer it becomes. Now, someone like myself who's at the bottom of the ladder, who has a strong sense of justice, both natural and legal, would like to see these individuals, low and high, brought to justice, the televised trials made a circus, so that very real and tangible examples of accountability are shown to the planet. If the markets suffer, if the church suffers, if Hollywood suffers, then so be it. I'm happy for it to burn itself down. State-controlled media mechanisms like the BBC here in the UK has had its fair share of scandal, not least of which was Jimmy Savile and his horrendous crimes. But he isn't the story. The story are the people that he associated with, very high up the social ladder, including politicians and even royalty. He had access to these people that nobody else had. And I'm quite surprised that Jimmy Savile's name hasn't appeared in the Epstein files. He was an absolute shoo-in. And who knows, he might still appear. But the secret media state slowly being dismantled in public was never going to be a quick thing. And we can only hope that when it eventually comes crashing down, that it will be satisfying. And those individuals who committed crimes receive their punishment in the full glare of the limelight. And that the secret state apparatus that plagues so many countries in the modern world is forced to expose itself further and, who knows, maybe even reset. It's become too powerful, and the reach that one man had, that he could undermine so many individuals and organizations around the globe, is truly staggering. And it can't be allowed to happen again. And Epstein's dirty laundry must be washed in full glare of the public, so that some semblance of trust can be regained in the mechanisms that investigate and prosecute these heinous crimes. Do let me know what you think in the comments below. Do like, subscribe, and share the channel. It really would help. And until next time, do look after yourselves.